Hey, what is up guys, Smurfy back for round 1 with blue-red Prowess, and this hand has no creatures and a lot of land and just not a lot to do. The Fever Divisions is really nice, but I think it's just pretty clearly a mulligan. And this hand is significantly better, so we will keep. A Braid is fine. I think we just want to hit our third land drop for the Fever Divisions though, so I'm just going to stick that on the bottom, I think. Yeah. So we've got a 1-drop into a 2-drop, and then hopefully we draw a land and we can go Fever Divisions, and we should just be like off to the races. And it looks like we're against a mono-red aggro deck with Bomat Courier. So that might put us off actually playing the Fever Divisions if our opponent is just a mono-red aggro deck, because we don't want our opponent to draw lots of cards. Because if our opponent is just like ditching them every turn, then all we're doing is giving our opponent an advantage. Maybe it's worth it just so we draw the extra cards, but I guess we'll find out. I'm going to Incinerary, float our 1-drop and get in for another 1 damage. Alright, so it looks like, well, we're obviously gonna, I think we're gonna play Storm Chaser Mage here over the Riddle Form, just because Riddle Form doesn't do anything yet. We don't even have a spell to activate it. So we're gonna play Storm Chaser Mage. I don't know if we want to attack or not. I think it's pretty tough, but I think we do want to actually attack. Because if they remove the Storm Chaser Mage, then it's really bad for us. And if they just play like anything that stops it from blocking, that's bad. I think it's better off just to attack here. They're gonna lead off a Carry Reserve. And a Kazi Shazoo, yeah. So like here they would have just made it so our Storm Chaser Mage couldn't block anyway. So they're gonna make the 2/1 Monkey and get in for like what, 2, 4, 5? Yeah. We still haven't hit our next land drop, so I think we just play the Storm Chaser Mage again. And that is not Storm Chaser Mage, but I've played it anyway. So we can attack here, or we can choose not to. I should have played the Storm Chaser Mage there, obviously. I think we're just going to have to pass. Hopefully we can draw a spell soon, like a shock or something, just to get rid of the Bomat Courier. So our opponent is going to be able to refuel with the Bomat Courier now. So if we draw a removal spell now, this is really good because it turns off the Bomat Courier. Hazoret can attack this turn because they have 1 card in hand. Yeah, they're not going to bother attacking with that, obviously. So we can either block the Monkey and take 7, or we can block the Hazoret, sacrifice our, which we'll just basically throw the Storm Chaser Mage under the bridge, under the train, sorry, and then we take 4. I think we'd rather just block the Monkey and take the extra 3 though, because I don't see how we're ever going to beat our opponent if we're just doing that basically. And I think we have to draw a removal spell here, otherwise I think we just lose. Whilst we're not dead, they're just going to draw a bunch of cards, so yeah, let's just go to the next game. We're just too far behind at this point. So obviously we want Magma Sprays, and Sweltering Suns is probably what we want to do. And I'm not sure about Biforce. Things that we don't want are Insult to Injury is probably not great, and we definitely don't want Fever Visions. So we could keep Arouse Expertise, but I don't think we want to be doing that. We could bring in the Biforce, it can destroy Bomat Couriers. Just trying to think what else it destroys, and it's not really that much. They don't play Heart of Kyrian typically in the mono red decks. So it is just the Bomat Courier, I think. So I don't think we want to bring that in. We could bring in Dispel for the removal spells. But for that, at that point we might as well just play Negate, because a lot of them are sorcery speed. Because I know, obviously, we've seen them playing Incendiary Flow, which is sorcery, so I don't really want Dispel, so I think we just want to bring in an extra Negate. And yeah, I think that's about it. So let's run this. Hopefully we can get off to a little bit of a better start than not hitting our third land drop and having 2 Fevered Visions in hand. But yeah, definitely want to play first. And we'll keep this. So we've got turn 1 shock into turn 2 3/3. And we'll just pass the turn over. Looks like our opponent isn't going to play a creature, which is good for us, I guess. And let's go Riddle Form. So this is going to be very difficult for our opponent to interact with because we know they have Incendiary Flow, which doesn't really help them against a Riddle Form because it's not going to be activated in their turn that often. And it's going to play this, which is just going to do... It's basically just a 2-mana 2/1 with haste at this point. There are a couple of things to consider with what spell we want to use to remove this, because if we want to use Incendiary Flow to exile it, then they can't use the Eternalize. 6 mana, bring it back from the graveyard, it becomes a 4/4. Or we can shock it. The difference is, shock is less damage, but it's also instant speed and it's more mana. It's like less costly in the mana, whereas Incendiary Flow is sorcery speed, but yeah, I think we just want to... The difference is that Incendiary Flow can exile things, so like Scrap Heap Scrounger. I don't think our opponent will be playing it. So I don't think that the exile should be too relevant, so we're just going to use Incendiary Flow on it. Just because it's more mana efficient for us, and also it does exile it if it ever does come to that, which I'm hoping it won't. So it does mean that we can keep shock up during their turn. The other option was to just let them keep it around, so then next turn they play another creature and we can Sweltering Suns. But I think it's better to do it this way around. We don't really want to be doing Sweltering Suns next turn anyway, because it'll kill our Riddle Form. So I think what we want to do is like end of their turn, shock something, then untap, play Chandra would be nice. They're just going to pass the turn back. Okay, sweet. So this is obviously where it would have been better if we used shock and then Incendiary Flow on the carry reserve, but we weren't to know that that's what they were going to play, so I think we just want to cast Chandra and kill the carry reserve. Yeah. This does mean that they can use a burn spell here to kill the Chandra, but yes. If they're using a burn spell to kill Chandra after we've killed one of their creatures, I think we're okay with that anyway. And we're going to get in for 3. So if our opponent doesn't play something with haste or anything like that, then we might be able to keep Chandra around, but I doubt it. Village Messenger, sure. So Chandra is dead. But that is a good shock target for us. Oh, okay. So we're going to take 2 and Chandra is going to die. Yep. So we can go Sweltering Suns. Wait a minute. You may have Riddle Form become a 3/3. Okay, so we can actually Sweltering Suns and not kill our Riddle Form. But I think what we want to do is just play Storm Chaser Mage and start killing our opponent quicker, because I think we're just faster than them. Like, we're ahead on board. So yeah. We're just going to play Storm Chaser Mage. I think we just want to Incendiary Flow our opponent's face. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. We're just so far ahead at this point, I think we can afford to just try and kill our opponent as quickly as possible. Like, next turn we can deal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell for our creatures, then we can just kill them next turn. Okay, well that's a good start for them. And they're going face with that one, sure. Spy Buff Canal doesn't do too much. So we can deal 3 and then shock them, which doesn't kill them. We can Sweltering Suns if we want. I think we just want to shock, but I don't think we want to shock face, because putting them to 1 and 3 isn't too much of a difference. So I think we just want to go like shock, kill one of their creatures, and then hit them. Just trying to think if there's anything better. So we can go like Sweltering Suns, deal 3 to these, don't activate this, and then it's very unlikely that they kill us next turn anyway. And that gives us a chance to draw any burn spell and then shock, face, and attack them for 3 in the air. And I think we just want to shock one of their creatures. We'll shock this because it could flip. We could have also just cycled the Sweltering Suns, but I don't think that does too much for us. So we'll get him for 3. The only reason to shock our opponent's face is in case that they have removal for this, but I don't think they're going to. And we can also just end of turn scry one if we want to. But I think the game is so... Hazoret, sure. So that doesn't actually do anything here because they have 2 cards in their hand. So we're just going to go end of turn scry. And we will now on top. So that is just game here. I assume our opponent's just going to concede. Yep, sweet. So obviously Crash 3 will activate Riddle Form and then we just attack for 3 in the air. Our opponent seemed to have a slow start there, and Sweltering Suns didn't seem that great just because we wanted to be attacking every turn, and the Riddle Form meant that if we wanted to attack, then obviously the Sweltering Suns would have killed it. So there is that. But anyway, that worked out well, so we just want to go back into sideboarding. I don't think there's too much we want to change. Browse Expertise seems really bad against them. Negate might be okay if we want more of those, but I think what we've got seems fine. Maybe Unsummon isn't good. It's good against Bomat Courier, the 2-drop that makes them discard a card. The 2-mana 4/3 when it enters battlefield, discard a card. That would be nice with Unsummon. And it's also just fine against Hazoret, just slowing them down so much. It might just be mana efficient enough that it's good. But obviously Negate is fine as well. Other than that, I think we're just going to stick with what we've got. I think Unsummon might be just about better than Negate, but I think Negate is fine to bring in. I don't think we can take out... Like, the cards I don't think we can take out are like Crash 3, just because it works so well with all of our creatures. So I think that we just have to keep cards like that in, like the incredibly mana efficient ones. So yeah, we're just going to play with this. I think Unsummon is pretty close in this matchup, but it's so mana efficient I think it's worth keeping in. This hand seems okay, but it doesn't really do too much. So we've got like turn 1 Soul Scar Mage into turn 2 like Shock or whatever, and then hopefully we can just hit the Sweltering Suns to clean up the board, and then we've got 2 Chandras. I don't really like 2 Chandras in our opening hand, and we do need a second red source really, but I think it's pretty greedy to get rid of this, so we will keep. And if unfortunately our opponent's first, so this Shock is going to make us only play 1 creature on turn 1, so we're just going to take 1 here. We draw another Shock. I think we just have to get on the board first. If our opponent just removes this, then it's looking pretty bad for us. But at the same time... Oh, okay. So our opponent's actually played a Ramunap. I don't even know how you pronounce that. But it's actually a really nice new land for the red decks. Yeah, just going to braid that, sure. We're just going to play Storm Chaser Mage. We're not actually that far behind damage-wise, so we're just going to attack our opponent. Because if we just leave it back to block and they kill it, then it's just really bad for us. So I'd rather just get the damage in. Or yeah, there's just so many, like the red Cartouche and this creature. There's just so many creatures that make it, or so many spells that make it so we can't block, that I think it's fine to just do that. And that was like the perfect draw. So we draw an untapped red source, which means we can Sweltering Suns to clear the board and get in for 2. And I don't think it's going to get much better than that, so I think we just want to do it now. We could hold off and try and get more cards with it, but I think a 2-for-1 and triggering Prowess is good enough for me at least. And we've also got Shocks as well, so for later on. If we can keep the board relatively empty for the Chandra, then we should be pretty good here. They're just going to Collective Defiance, kill our Storm Chaser Mage, which is fine. And we just have to pass the turn. There's no reason to Incendiary Flow our opponent's face here, I don't think. The worst thing our opponent could do is play a Hazoret. We just can't deal with that very easily. And they did, of course. Sure. So they're going to attack us for 5 here because I've only got 1 card in hand. Things are looking pretty bad for us here. Just because it's very difficult to answer this. And we draw another shock. Alright, well, now I'm going to Incendiary Flow our opponent's face because we're just having to race our opponent. Obviously, we're losing that race, but we're just going to have to do what we can. So they can do 1 damage to us with the desert, and then they can use this to sacrifice that desert. And a Bomat Carrier, sure. We are going to shock this before they can get the trigger on it. And then we'll yield. So we're going to take 5, and that is just game. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. So we just take 5, if not... yeah, there's just nothing we can do. We can't interact with the Hazoret. So unfortunately our opponent's got this game. I really do like the new red decks because you can play the ruins with the deserts and it's just like a really nice synergies with all the lands. Unfortunately our opponent's got this game, so thanks for watching and I will see you in the next round. Peace.